Hey there, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. I thought that before I start the reading for the week ahead, I would like to show you all how to do an abundance box. I've done this before and I have sent something through, but it's nice to kind of redo it or do it again just to show people who have not seen that video and kind of give them a heads up, especially when it's the full moon like this. It's a wonderful time to be working towards abundance, to be setting intentions. Obviously, I'm doing the energy sessions tonight, but I've squeezed in time to luckily do the reading for the week ahead as well. So I'm going to quickly just show you here. I've made an abundance box for myself, but I'm going to quickly redo it just to show you what kind of things you can put in there. All right, there's also an abundance grid that you can make, which I'm going to probably show you at the next full moon video, but we can do kind of one thing at a time. All right, so whatever means abundance to you, that's what you use for your abundance box. You can use any box. I've got a little, like a treasure chest kind of a box here. It doesn't have to be a treasure chest box. It can literally be a cardboard box. Whatever it is that you've got on hand is wonderful. Okay, I often like to start by putting some money in, like of quite a high value. All right, so this is one of our highest value notes that we have here, which is not saying much when it comes from South Africa. Okay, but there's a 200 Rand note for interest's sake. For those of you who've never seen one, it's got a leopard on it. It's quite beautiful. And then Nelson Mandela at the back. Okay, so that was just for interest. So you put some money in here. I often put other coins in as well, which are, there's one from the States. This is from Metakaish. Okay, that's from Mozambique. Lira. Some of these aren't around anymore. Great Britain pound. Just whatever you've got on hand. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything from anywhere in particular. This is Portugal. Again, 20 pence, 50 cents from South Africa. It's just to represent money, okay? It's representation. That's what you're doing. When you're setting an intention, it's representation, it's visualization, and obviously above all, your intent is everything. So don't be upset if you don't have certain things I'm putting in here. I'm putting a whole bunch of stuff in to show you what you can add. All right, if you have any little statues that are associated with abundance, you can put in a Buddha. I've got two little Buddhas. Come on, focus, Buddha. He really doesn't want it. There we go. Okay, I've got two of those that I'm putting in, two different ones. They are attracting abundance, happiness. I also have a Ganesha here. Okay, Ganesha is not only a remover of obstacles in the Hindu tradition, but he also brings abundance and blessings and all of this kind of thing. If you want, you can add Ganesha. Then I add crystals. Okay, so the first one that I had in here today was a piece of malachite. It's also an egg. I was gifted this, which is very beautiful. Eggs represent rebirth, abundance. Ooh, let me just throw it in there, why don't I? Okay, but there is my egg. It's malachite. Malachite's associated with money and abundance. So is citrine. There's a big citrine there. I've got another big one here. All right, that's a rough one. Show him nicely. Doesn't want to focus today. There we go. Okay, beautiful citrine can go in there. I also have tiny other little bits that I happen to just have lying around. Okay, that's also a citrine chunk and a citrine bracelet that I have that I just keep, you know, around or on my table, and I actually do wear it from time to time. There we go. Okay, so you add all of these things to your abundance box, and collectively they're going to add to the intention. Clear quartz I put in because clear quartz amplifies any other crystal that's around. Okay, if you're into crystals, if you're not, and you think that's a load of hooey, that's up to you. To each his own. All right, then I have these little intention cards that I write. You can just write it on a plain piece of paper, and I just wrote two different ones. These are ones that I use over and over again. I got these angel cards that had these little cards at the back that you could write on. The first one I said is I have all the resources I need to be financially comfortable and travel the world freely. Okay? And then I do use the word amen, whether you're religious or not. Amen has been used over centuries. It's a very powerful word that's been repeated many times, and it means I decree it to be so, or so it is. Okay, so you're decreeing, you solidifying that intention. The other one I used from actually a guy called Jake Ducey, who I learned some abundance techniques from a long time ago. And he had this whole abundance mantra that he basically wrote up. That's what worked for me and got me out of a really bad place in my life, got me going. So I still use some of that. And what I've written here is money comes to me in abundance from many different sources on a continuous basis. I give my talents with love and I am wonderfully blessed financially. Amen. Okay? Or amen, however you want to say it. All right, so those are the two things that I do. Like I say, I do an abundance grid as well. If you really want to see that, please comment or let me know. Send me a message and I'll do a quick video on that. It will be really quick though. If I can reach, maybe I can just show you guys quickly. Let me do that. All right, we're going over here. All right, there's my abundance grid. So that's what it looks like. It's a grid that's got, let me just think of what it is. Pyrite in the middle, okay? And I've got aventurine around the edges, and then I've got citrine chips right on the end as well. So you make an abundance grid. It doesn't have to necessarily be that specific grid, but you can find different grids on the internet and you can print them off. If you want, that is the one you're looking for. So you can kind of take a screenshot and maybe use Lens or something to copy that. Otherwise, if you want, I can actually find one and just send it for you. Just drop me a mail and I'll do that. Okay. I've also lit a candle to solidify my intention and send my intention up. I've got some frankincense and amber burning in there. And underneath that, I've also got the same write-up that I had when I said to you, I'm so happy and grateful. Money comes to me in abundance from many different sources on a continuous basis. Okay, so that's what I do every now and then. I don't do it every month or anything like that. I just do them now and then when I feel the urge to do them, and I keep them refreshed because it's good to update them every couple of months. Okay, so that's that. I now need a sip of water before we do the reading. Okay, so here we go. Goddesses and sirens. Oh, peridot is also good. Any green or gold stones, okay, are really good for attracting abundance. So anything you've got that's green and gold, even just clear quartz is also fine. Aventurine, amazonite, all of those green stones. And anything, even like tiger's eye, that kind of thing. Just Google what stones you can use for abundance if you want to. You don't have to have what I've got. Okay, don't think, oh, I can't do what Shireen did because I don't have what she's got on hand. Not true. All right, like I said, your intention is the most important, and then just add little things that mean, you know, abundance and money to you. Put in jewelry or a gold chain or anything like that. All right. So let's see what the week ahead is holding for us. Goddesses and sirens we're going to be using today to give us the messages. I've got this light up here too. I sincerely hope we're not going to have terrible glares, but I've tried my best. So here goes nothing. Okay. What do we need to know most importantly this week, please, for the week ahead? What energies around us? What advice do you have? There we go. We've got two. Okay. This is very interesting. All right. So Pomona is the first one that comes up. Hopefully you can see her nicely. Let's see if she will focus. There we go. All right. So she's got these beautiful earrings on. She is beautiful and abundant. This is exactly the energy that's coming up, is what we spoke about a couple of minutes ago. Pomona had beautiful gardens. Okay, that's what she was famous for. And she would tend these gardens relentlessly. She wouldn't let anybody into her garden either. And this was something that she was famous for. It was like the hanging gardens of Pomona were, you know, they really stood the test of time and they were so famous. And Pomona lived a very solitary life, never letting anyone come in, never letting anyone touch anything. But because she did that, she had this beautiful garden. And one day there was a gentleman who came in and he tried to win her favor, and Pomona didn't want anything to do with him. And the story goes that he eventually used magic to disguise himself as a dog. And he came into her garden every day and won her heart eventually, and told her that he was a man, and revealed himself. And together they tended the garden and looked after it, and it was twice as beautiful as it would ever have been. Okay, so this is first of all talking about having plenty, having abundance. And half of the battle won is to believe that you have enough. Think of your life up until now. You might not always have had loads, but you've been looked after. You wouldn't be here right now if you weren't looked after, and if things hadn't kind of, come out of the blue in your times of need. So that's very important to remember. And you need to trust that you have enough, and you need to know that you must, if you ask, you will receive. You know that saying, ask, believe, receive. That's what it's about. Okay. She also has a pruning shears, which is very symbolic, and she prunes back everything that is dead wood in her life. Okay. She prunes back anything that is no longer serving her, whether that's a relationship, a bad habit, whatever it is. She cuts all of that back so that it can start to stimulate new growth. Okay. So it talks about nourishing yourself, looking after the earth, tending to your garden, so to speak. Okay, so it shows us, or reminds us, that we do have plenty in our lives in so many ways. And if we focus on that, more of that will grow. And that's what we need to remember. I just have to stop my dog from snoring, guys. Don't laugh at me. Puff. I apologize for that. Okay, so yes, she's talking about cultivating care and self love for yourself in a literal and a figurative sense, and not limiting our growth by not pruning back when we need to. We can't have space for new things if we don't prune things back. If you don't give things away to charity, or help others, or clean out your closet every now and then, okay? Spring clean, do those things. Get rid of outmoded beliefs, bad habits, damaging patterns, or fear of certain things. Set an intention to have more courage if that's what you need. Okay? Sometimes you need to make a hard and fast decision to leave things behind, cut them out of your life. And if you don't do that, you don't make space for other growth. All right. So that is something that we need to do. We need to take stock of what needs to be removed. And sometimes it is a difficult path, and sometimes it's easier to get stuck in negative thinking about it rather than positive. When we talk about Hera as well, Hera was Zeus's wife, one of his many wives, and she had to tolerate his many escapades, okay? And she used to always turn a blind eye. Whenever Zeus did something, Zeus was the innocent one. And the women were always, the ones at fault. This has got nothing to do with sexism. Please take note. It's got nothing to do with that. It's a story from Greek mythology. We all know they're a bit convoluted and can be really complicated. And I say that with the greatest respect because I do love Greek mythology. But Hera put up with a lot from Zeus, basically. And she put up with turning a blind eye to him not being faithful to her. And this is talking about commitment here. And it's saying, question yourself when it comes to committing yourself to certain things. Have you been committing yourself to a bad habit? Have you been committing yourself to a cause that you shouldn't be committing to? Sometimes we are kind of brainwashed by all the things we see in social media, all the ways we're being told we're supposed to be believing. Think for yourself, do your own thing, run your own race. This is what it's saying. And it's saying re-examine your loyalties and your commitments and see if they're still warranted. Do the people that you are loyal to and the people you committed to, or the things that you committed to, the causes, the things that you belong to on Facebook, the groups that you're in, on Instagram, all over the place, you know what I mean? Re-examine these things and see if they are still warranted. Okay? See if you are doing this because you think your friends will think it's cool, because society says you must do it. Ask yourself if that's what you truly believe, if that's truly you agree with it, and it's you feel compelled to belong to that and stand up for it. If the answer is no, get rid of it. Leave that group. Okay, whether it's a book club you belong to, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be a Facebook group. But don't get into a place where you are fully committed to something that is not as committed to you, or that is actually not a good cause. You can say, I'm loyal to this group of people because society says I must be, or I think I believe in this. Loyalty is something that we need to think about very deeply, because you can be loyal to a cause and it can be a terrible cause. All right, you can be loyal to a group of extremists that hurt other people. So be careful of that. There's different causes and things and people that we can side with. And are we siding with them because someone told us we must, or because they're a family member, or because they've been a friend for 20 years? That means nothing compared to whether it's right or wrong. Okay? And whether you're lying to yourself, whether it's the truth or not. These things need to be examined in this week, and it takes courage to do that. Okay, it really takes courage to make those decisions and make those changes. So you need to reassess your situation, especially if it's a repetitive negative pattern and you're allowing this behavior to continue, whether it's your own behavior or someone else's bad behavior. Nip it in the butt. Okay, this is what it's saying. All right, let's see what else we got. What else do we need to know, or advice do we need this week, please? Bridget, healing. Okay. All right, so as we know, from this kind of thing can come a lot of pain. It can be very difficult to carry out, but it can bring a lot of healing. So this is Brigid or Bridget, and she's represented by healing. This is healing on all levels, okay? It also says to us automatically that a healing is taking place, or has the potential to take place. So perhaps just the act of you standing up for yourself, or deciding, I might have believed in something, but I don't believe in it anymore. Or I created a role model that it no longer deserves me to have them as a role model. That is something that's important, and that can come full circle. That can bring a lot of healing. So this is saying, don't worry, healing will come. Pain from the past has the ability to be healed and to recede and not be so prominent in your life anymore. This must also inspire you to be creative, okay? When we create, that is healing. Instead of stagnating and focusing on everything that's going wrong, create in whatever way that is. Create a new group if you don't like the group you were with, or paint a picture, or dance, or sing, or make something, or, go and do something productive in another group. Teach other people a skill set that you have, whatever it is, okay? Because that can be very healing. And this is saying that that's what you need to be focusing on. Okay, so she brings inspiration. She brings very powerful, encouraging energy, and it can be very effective. And she wants you to express yourself and express your emotions and express your creative spirit and your authenticity. Okay, so she's got this compassionate energy that helps you to bring that healing in. And yeah, expression is very important. And when I say expression, if there's something here that you need to deal with, somebody that you're letting go of in your life, don't be afraid to let it out. If you feel like that really hurts and you need to cry, or you need to cry because you have such relief from that person or that thing no longer having a hold on you, or you really didn't believe in that cause, and now that you've left it, it's, you've got a whole new lease on life. Be happy. Shout, scream into your pillow if you need to, laugh, whatever it is. I just want to show you the card from the bottom of the deck. It's the muses, all right? They also bring inspiration. So they're saying, allow this energy to come into your life. Paint, draw, play music, whatever it is. Go outside, be inspired by the world around you. Don't focus on the old stuck energy. Do what you can to immerse yourself in new energy and bring these changes and shifts. Okay, and that's your reading for the week. I wish you all a beautiful one, and I wish you much strength with whatever it is that you may need to deal with or change. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Lots of love.